This is the one review where it's actually okay for Peach to come in here and constantly interrupt us. Hey everyone, it's me, Aaron.
I'm Michelle.
This is Peach.
Yes.
And I didn't see this movie.
Neither did Peach.
Yes.
They don't allow dogs in movie theaters.
Despite how many letters I keep writing them. So yeah, this is the review for Secret Life of Pets 2. She saw it, I was busy editing videos.
And I did like the first one, so I was curious
I
about...
like the first one too.
Yeah.
It's definitely my favorite Illumination movie.
Yeah.
I'll give them that. I mean, that is an easy bar to walk over, but still. By the way, before we get into the review, I've got one correction and one announcement that I'm going to go ahead and make here at the top of the show. First correction, in our Dark Phoenix review, I said they never said the name of the aliens in there. I got someone who contacted me and said, yes, they did. It was during this moment. And I was like, I watched that moment and I did not see it. Like, it wasn't like I was distracted in that moment. I was looking at it and, man, I did not catch that at all. But someone out there said they said, so I trust you on that. So I was wrong about that.
Did they say what the name of the race was? Or?
I literally just said they said what the name of the race was. Yes.
No, but like what the...
Oh, was I correct when I said what they were yesterday? Yes. I had to look it up, but yeah, they do say that is that race. Still 100% different than how they are in the comics, and I still stand by them being the worst villains in any comic book movie. But I'll give you this. They did say the name of them in there. So there's that. As for the announcement, for anybody who's into video games, E3 is currently going on, so we're going to be streaming all the conferences. We're going to be chatting and hanging out as that's happening over at twitch.tv/professionalstories. You go over there and subscribe if you want to follow that. All right, there you go. Yes. So, on to the review.
Yes.
So, what is this one about?
Well, Duke and Max's owner gets married and has a kid. This happens within the first 5 minutes of the movie.
Okay, there was like no like... There was none of that in the previous one. Like,
no.
I'm trying to remember, like, because the last one, like, there was nothing about, like, a boyfriend or anything in there.
No, like I said, like, it's basically, like, a review of what happens in between this movie and the last.
I see. Okay, all right.
And it's like, oh, well, I was not expecting that. And, you know, Max grows fond of the little kid. His name is Liam. And, you know, ends up being very protective of the little boy, you know.
As, like, most dogs are, yes.
Yeah, and because of that, he starts to realize there's a lot of scary stuff in New York City for a little kid to be experiencing.
Because in the trailers, you see him, like, he's too nervous or something.
Yeah, and that
always wasn't really a thing.
No, it's like, especially if a dog, like, grows up, like, spends most of his life in New York, he starts to get used to those things. So It's like, oh, that makes way more sense. But I understand them not wanting to, like, spoil that.
I guess.
And so that's why he gets so anxious, and when he starts getting anxious, he starts scratching himself, which is why he has the cone on.
Oh, okay, so he's not there for, like, he's not
getting neutered, because I thought that too.
Yeah, they do kind of set that up in the trailers.
Yeah.
Okay, all right, so it's a dog who has social anxiety disorder. All right.
And it's, I guess putting a cone on a dog is funnier than giving the dog medication.
Yeah, there's no story about just giving a dog medication, like...
Yeah. Because there's like this one segment where he tries to get his ball that's stuck underneath a coffee table and his cone's in the way. So, you know, for the gags.
Yeah, I'm just thinking about that. It's like, that's not, is that a thing that they do where they give like dogs who are too nervous, like just cones, like dogs who are scratching themselves too much? But then again, like, I don't know how most vets would be able to tell the difference between the dog is scratching itself because it's a nervous wreck and scratching itself because it has, like, a condition, like, a physical condition, I mean.
This is a cartoon, so there's, like, a lot of things we can, like...
You don't want to, like, think too hard about this
No, like, especially with Secret Life of Pets, but, like, in the first one, they literally had, like, an underground rebellion against humans.
Exactly.
So, that's the kind of
Okay. So, I'm assuming that they have to send Max and Duke off to a farm to get away from the city, because that's what it looks like in the trailers.
It's more of a vacation.
Okay.
Like, a little road trip, I guess. Like, basically...
So the humans are there with them?
Yes.
Okay.
But the humans...
Because the trailers make it look like they just get rid of the dog. Trailers make it look like they went to live in the farm upstate.
Yes. Yes, they had to get rid of the dogs, and they tell Liam, oh, they went up to the countryside, and because that's what they always tell little kids when their dog is put down.
Yes. Like, it's literally, like, that's what the trailers made it look like. It made it look like, oh, this is for the kids out there for when their parents tell them your dog went to live on a farm upstate. Like, no, look, they're actually on a farm upstate. Like, yeah, it's
No,
actually
but it's
happening.
like, Max's owner, her husband, whose name is Chuck, that's not really important, but Chuck has an uncle who lives on a farm, so that's where they go. They're basically like visiting like a family member and like enjoying the countryside and all that stuff.
Mm-hmm.
So, there's actually like 3 different plot lines going on in this movie.
That look like it from the trailers.
Yeah.
The trailers, because I kept looking at the trailers and it's like, okay, they're at the farm, they're upstate. Okay, all right, that makes sense. Why is the rabbit in like a luchador outfit? And what is the cat doing in there with a bunch of other, like, is it with a bunch of other cats or a bunch of other dogs?
Like, I'll explain. Like, okay, so the rabbit Snowball, he has his own, like, little plot line. He, his kid has been obsessed with superheroes, so, like, that's why he's dressed up in a superhero costume.
Wait, did he get an owner at the end of the last one?
Remember?
I don't remember that.
Yeah,
okay.
like, basically, like a little kid, like, finds him, and, like, it takes him home, and, like, Snowball is just so happy that he forgets all about the rebellion.
Oh, now I remember that.
Yeah,
okay.
So because of that, like, whenever, like, Snowball actually thinks he is a superhero because of all that, of all the playing and pretending. So, like, whenever his kid goes off to school, he's, like, out on the fire escape, like, patrolling the area for crime.
Guess they needed something to do with him, all right.
Yeah, and turns out there actually is a crime that he has to, like,
prevent.
Yeah, like, basically it's an animal rescue.
Oh, you mean he's rescuing?
He is rescuing an animal.
I thought you meant he had to stop an animal rescue team or something.
No.
Okay, this is weird. Like, is he stopping PETA? Because that I can maybe kind of get behind. All right,
and
you saw the thing, by the way. Like the new Pokemon got.
Oh yes.
I like PETA pointing out the thing is like, don't shear your sheep, and it's like, speaking of someone who grew up on a farm, go fuck yourself.
Yes.
That's not. You don't know anything about sheep, you idiots. So anyway, okay, moving on.
Wake up, sheeple. No. Anyway, so that's one plot line. Then there's a plot line with Gidget, the Pomeranian.
Yes, okay, I remember Gidget. Okay,
yes, Max's girlfriend.
Yes, okay.
Which they don't really have much of a relationship here because, Max is away at the farm, so they don't really have much of a development, but...
They don't have much of a relationship here because Illumination's whole plan for when they make animated films is just, what ideas do we have for other movies? Cram them into the sequel. That's what Illumination does. Illumination is not very interested in building things. Like, in Despicable Me, Gru getting a girlfriend is, like, the most development they have had of anything, and there's like twin brother comes into the mix. They're what? Okay, but yeah, like all of the Illumination sequels are always just I don't know. We had an idea. That's it, and that's kind of what this is sounding like to me. Like we had like 3 ideas for stories that kind of maybe like one of them should have been a movie, but it's not like the other ones were like animated shorts that should have come on before the movie almost. But go on.
All right, so with Gidget, like before Max goes on the trip, he gets his favorite toy, which is like a little squeaky bumblebee ball, and he's like, Gidget, I want you to take care of a busy bee. This is my favorite toy. Please don't let anything bad happen to him. And she gets like really excited. She's like, oh, he's like our little kid, and you're the father, and I'm the mother, and she...
I forgot how weird Gidget was. Gidget was a bit stalkerish, yeah.
Yeah, she was very obsessive with Max, but like thankfully
she was kind of like what was Charlie Brown's sister's name?
Oh, Lucy?
Yeah, no, Lucy was the one who ran the...
Oh, yeah, I'm sorry. I'm thinking
Sally,
of...
right?
Sally, yes, Sally and Linus. I was thinking of Lucy and Schroeder.
Yes. That also kind of... Wow. I forgot there were 2 of those relationships in the Peanuts. Okay, but yeah, she always kind of reminded me of like that.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
So by accident, she drops the busy bee out of the window, and it lands into like an apartment of a little old lady who has a whole bunch of cats.
Okay.
By the way, it's not the crazy old lady. She's just like very...
Just an old lady, yeah.
Yeah, she's very sweet, but she's...
I've known those people, yeah.
Yeah, she's very sweet, but like she can't really see or hear or do anything, so like literally her cats just like take over the entire apartment, so she has no idea what's going on. So Gidget goes to Chloe the cat. She's like...
That's the big fat cat, right?
Yes,
okay.
The only cat, honestly.
I'm trying to keep them all straight, but yeah, okay, yes, all right. I guess there was only one cat.
Yeah,
Okay,
I mean,
got
there
it.
were the alley cats, but they were in the first movie.
That's
not in
what
this,
I'm thinking.
Not,
I'm
not in the
mixing up,
sequel.
yeah. Okay.
So like, she's like, I need you to teach me to be a cat so I can infiltrate this apartment and get Busy Bee back. So there's that.
So that's their plot line.
Yes.
Do any of these plots intersect?
Very end, and it honestly did not seem like they needed to.
Yeah, okay. That's the vibe I was getting from the trailers, is that it feels like you have story A, and then they're like, well, we gotta do some stuff with the other characters there. All right, fine. It'd be kind of like if in the Toy Story films, Buzz and Woody had their own thing to do, and all the other toys stayed home.
Yeah.
And then they're like, well, we gotta do something with them. It's like, no, man, have them all go on some big crazy adventure. Like, man, it's not even Toy Story. When you think about the long history of animated films about animals going on adventures, it's always, there's no reason for 8 animals to be on this adventure,
No.
but they're all going to do it.
Ice Age.
Ice Age. I was thinking of Brave Little Toaster. They're not animals, but still. Yeah, like, there's a long history of, okay, well, we really only have a journey for one character. Let's have everybody come along. Yeah, so it's kind of odd that they decided just to... Again, to me, I didn't see it, but it sounds to me like these are things that should have been animated shorts, like 5-10-minute max shorts.
Honestly, like, I think the animated shorts are like, even like an animated series, like
Yeah,
on
it's not-
Netflix or something.
It's
I think
really
that would've
stunning to
been-
me that Secret Life of Pets has not gotten an animated series.
It might. I'm hoping it does, because like it really does have like a lot of good ideas, a lot of cute and fun ideas for kids
Good
to
character
enjoy.
designs, yeah. Good toys that you can sell.
Yes.
Yeah, I mean,
So it's like, yeah, why not?
yeah, it's kind of shocking to me that like they haven't done that yet. But again, that's Illumination style. Illumination does not think along those lines. Illumination thinks along the lines of, we had an idea, put all those ideas into a thing. So I'm a little bit concerned about that Mario movie. A little bit worried about that Mario movie that's coming up. So yeah, it's so weird to me that Nintendo. It's so weird to me that Nintendo for years was like, we're not going to make any of our things into movies because that Super Mario movie screwed us over too bad. All right, after years, we've decided to do it again. We're gonna hand it off to an animation team. So DreamWorks? No. Well, Disney had some of your guys in Wreck-It Ralph. Could you get Disney? No. Illumination. Okay, so guess we'll see that third Super Mario's movie in 20 more years. Sure, fine.
We'll go to Universal Studios and they'll have like Mario over there.
Yeah, all right.
Along with the minions.
That's the one good thing. Even if they make a crap movie, you know that there's going to be some good rides at Universal Studios. Like,
Don't they have like a Mario theme park though? Like
they've been talking about making one. They have yet to start, but they are going to make one. But yeah, we went to Universal Studios and the Despicable Me ride. Despite the problems with Despicable Me, that ride's actually pretty good. I gotta give them credit on that.
All right, so back on to Secret Life of Pets 2.
Yes.
So which subplot do you want me to talk about?
Let's talk. Well, we haven't talked about the main plot. They get to the farm, and then what happens?
That's the thing. The main plot is probably the least interesting plot of them all.
God damn it.
Well, basically...
How old is Harrison Ford? We know that he meets a dog there. He's played by Harrison Ford. Harrison Ford tries to, like, toughen him up. Harrison Ford has also kind of been known over the years as a guy who just kind of stopped caring about acting. How is he in this?
He definitely has that I don't give a fuck kind of attitude, but I think they kind of, like, based his character around that.
Does it work enough for the character?
It works enough.
All right, fine. Then that's all that you need.
Like,
Okay.
basically, the dog he plays is named Rooster.
Okay.
It's funny,
That's
like...
nice.
yeah.
That's a nice little thing.
Like, he says, my name is on the bowl, and he turns it around, there's a picture of a rooster on it, and Duke is like, sorry, Mr. Chicken? I thought they were gonna say cock, honestly. But... No.
They're better than that. They're not above a fart joke, but they're better than a dick joke. I'll give Illumination that.
So yeah, basically he's like this, tough old man who's like, you city folks are too soft and stuff like that. So it's like,
Yeah.
because like...
You millennials with your fancy squeak bumblebees and... Yeah.
No, but he's like, the little kid, he's like in a little playpen. He's like, what's with the kid? Why is he in a crate? Is he sick? Let him out. Let him run around. And Max is like, but he might get hurt. And Rooster's like, well, then he'll learn not to do that. So it's like very
Very much the old guy, like, in my day, we just threw the kids into the water. See if they were witches.
Yeah, pretty much he's just like that.
All right.
And it fits him. It fits him. So.
Yeah, all right. That is it's nothing very original, but it's a type of character we know, so all right, it's fine.
And it's like he basically like runs the farm, like he barks and like all the other farm animals listens to him because he's the boss and everything. And, you know, Max, he's like freaking out because, you know, this is a new area. There's like a giant turkey who's always chasing after him and when you see the trailers and everything. The thing is, Duke doesn't do shit.
Yeah. You don't see him at all in the trailers, and I was honestly wondering, like, it wasn't until, like, the third trailer came out that we saw Duke on the farm, and I was like, oh, shit, I thought something happened to Duke. I thought they just dropped his ass from this film.
And that's so weird, considering he has such a huge, like...
He was the entire point of the first film.
Exactly! Like, Max getting used to having another dog in his life. Now he's...
Guess he didn't have to get used to him that hard.
Nope. So it's like, honestly, you could have taken Duke entirely out of the movie and nothing would change.
Alright.
So there's that. There's that issue. So, basically... where was I?
Duke did nothing there at the farm.
Oh, yeah. So with Max, it's like, he starts becoming more afraid of everything, which is weird. I mean, you think, like, basically the whole reason why he becomes afraid is because he's afraid for the kid.
Yeah.
But now it's starting to feel like shift over where he's, like, afraid for himself. And I thought that was really weird. Because it's like... You know, like Rooster mentions, the kid looks fine. You're the one who's scared.
I can see it because it's one of those things where it's like the kid made him realize all this scary stuff.
Yeah, that's true. That is the point. But like the kid himself, he's not afraid to do it. I thought it'd be more like a Finding Nemo sort of thing where the father learns to let his child grow up. I thought it would be the kind of same thing with Max, but it's about Max getting over his fears that he never even had before the kid came around, so I thought that was a bit weird.
Okay. I can see that, yeah. They created a problem just for this movie so that he can then get over it.
Exactly,
I see that, yes. Alright, so what happened with the rabbit? Well, without spoiling anything, yes. What happened with the rabbit?
Basically, they introduced a new character, a little Shih Tzu named Daisy.
Okay.
And she's like, I need Captain Snowball! There's an emergency going on! And because I guess word got out that he likes to be a superhero or something, I don't know how that works.
How much of, like, a superhero thing do they go into? Like, is it, like, she's his, like... Oracle, like she's the one, like,
no. She's basically like I need your help, and she basically becomes like a sidekick.
Okay, all right.
So like Snowball puts on his super suit, and he's like, "What's the problem, citizen?" and stuff like that. And she's
so weird hearing that. Like his whole character type from the last one was, "I'm the crazy anarchist, rebellious character," and now it's like it sounds to me like they created a different character.
Well, the thing is, they obviously want to like keep like the craziness, like the super high energy that Snowball had.
I guess.
But I guess they wanted to redirect it because he's no longer part of a rebellion. So, because, like, his little kid is obsessed with superheroes, he's, like, obsessed with crime fighting. So, like, ha, 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 you know, stuff like that.
All right.
So she's, like, basically saying, there is a tiger that's being abused by a circus owner, and she wants to help the tiger escape.
Okay.
Yes.
Again, these sound like interesting stories, but like they're not fitting together like puzzle pieces in my mind.
No, it's like I said, they're like three different storylines, and it's like they're all going along the same line.
I heard someone describe this as being like Pulp Fiction for kids, where it's like very different stories that seem like they have nothing to do with each other. Like, what you described to me actually kind of reminds me of the episode of The Simpsons, the 27 stories about Springfield or whatever it was. Where it was just a whole bunch of random stories, and then at the end they kind of come together.
Yeah, it's basically like that.
Okay. Well, what about, what's her face? The Pomeranian.
Gidget, okay.
Gidget, yes.
So Chloe teaches her how to be a cat. She puts cat ears on and a sock on her tail.
Okay.
To make her look more like a cat.
All right.
Like, she gets in, and she realizes that a busy bee is being, like, held by like the biggest freaking cat in the room.
So it's like prison. She has to beat up the biggest person there.
Kind of. like, she tried to be sneaky about it, but failed. And, Norman the guinea pig, he's there to help.
Was he in the last one?
Yes, he was. But
he was in the Basset Hound's place. Right?
Yes.
Okay, I'm remembering little bits of this. Okay.
Yes. So basically, he's there as backup, and he uses the laser pointer to distract the cats.
Okay. I saw this in the trailer where, like, she catches the light.
Yeah, she catches the lights, and that...
And the cats worship her?
Yeah, the cats worship her. So because of that, she was able to, like, get the toy back, but she decides to stay because she likes the attention, I guess.
Fair enough.
So there's that. So I guess I should go back to the A plot with Max, like how he learned to face his fears.
You don't need to tell us, like, how it happens. That's like spoiler stuff.
I guess
like, unless it's
well, the thing is, like, he learns to face his fears, then he goes back home and he uses his courage to help along with the merging plots.
Okay, okay, alright. Alright, interesting. Does it feel earned? Does it feel like it works when it comes together?
Not really.
Not really?
And the way Max gets his courage back, it feels like very half-assed.
We've seen that in the trailer where, like, the dogs are barking outside and he just goes downstairs to confront them. I mean, is that what happens?
Yeah.
Okay. So that was in the trailers.
Here's the thing, though. I don't know if this is much of a spoiler, but those aren't dogs. They're wolves.
Okay.
Yeah, basically, the guy who runs the circus, who's abusing the tiger, he's not your typical ringmaster, your typical, like, circus leader. He's like the most stereotypical evil villain you'll ever see, like...
Oh, so he is like most ringleaders.
No, but I mean, you expect, like, you know...
He's not your typical cartoon ringleader.
No, he's basically your typical, like, Snively Whiplash kind of character.
I see, okay.
Like, basically, he's... You know how, like, artists will draw human versions of Pokemon?
Yes.
He's like the human version of Honch Crow. Like,
okay. I instantly picture this. I got you. Alright, so moving on to your score. What would you give this?
What score did I give the first one?
I think you give it an 8.
I think I give this an 8 too.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I did enjoy it.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, what is it that you enjoy about it? Because we mostly just kind of talked about, like, plots and how, like, they don't quite work coming together. And
well, I like the separate plots.
You
And
like that there were separate plots? Okay.
No, I didn't like that there were separate plots. Hi, Peach. Hi. You're being a...
She's trying to lay on both of us at once.
I didn't... But I like what they did with the characters.
Oh, okay, all right.
But I didn't really like that the plots were separate.
But they are, okay, so it's like 3 films that don't quite work together, but they're 3 good films.
Yes, on their own. I really did like that.
I see what you're saying.
Yes.
Now. Okay, all right, I see.
And, I like that they expanded more on, like, what the pets do outside when no one's really around, so...
It is, when you think about what the initial premise of this was, when you remember that very first trailer when the first film came out, it didn't even look like it was going to be one big story.
No.
Like, the very first trailer for the very first film did kind of set it up to be, Peach, you were just going in on those licks. They did set it up to be more of like, a bunch of short films. That's how it kind of looked to me, at least when the first trailer came out. Because I know that, what is that British claymation studio?
Oh, Aardman?
Aardman, yeah.
Oh, yeah, they did something like that, like Creature Comforts,
Yeah,
where they
like
interviewed, like, the animals in zoos and how they feel about, like, being in there.
And that's what the very first trailer for the first Secret Life of Pets felt like it was going to be to me. Like, a bunch of short films just focusing on individual pets. So it's kind of interesting that this one actually was that. Because even if the stories don't quite come together or anything, it does still kind of sound interesting to me when I think about what I thought the initial premise of this was going to be. That's like, oh, this is kind of what I thought the initial premise was going to be.
And plus, like, I really enjoyed it. It was very cute. It was very charming. It was very entertaining. If you like animals and animation,
you are a huge animal and animation person.
Yeah, so this is definitely my thing.
Yes, exactly. Which that is the important thing to let people know. Everybody's going to judge a film based on the type of person that they are.
Yes.
This is a movie that is made for the type of person that you are. So what you're saying is that it was mostly a success. You just would have like one main story rather than 3.
Yeah, or like have the 3 plots sort of merge together.
Yes.
Or like cross over intersect every now and then.
Yes. It almost sounds like an episode of Seinfeld, what you're describing to me. How it's like Everybody has their own story, and then at the very end, like 30 seconds before it ends.
Seinfeld with animals. That's
Yes.
basically Secret Life of Pets.
That's what it sounds like. All right. Anything in the spoiler part that you want to talk about?
Yes. Well, basically, like, I guess the first thing I should talk about was how Max like faces his fears. He accidentally like lets a sheep out of the pen, and it's like the smallest one. So he.
Our dog just shook herself off, and she's got these big floppy ears, so it just made this.
Well, her
sound.
ears aren't floppy, but they make a floppy noise when
Yes.
she shakes. So, like, basically, like, Rooster is like, this is your fault, so you gotta go out and get that sheep back.
Can the sheep talk? Can any of the farm animals talk?
Some of them. The turkey cannot talk. You saw the cow talk in the trailer. That's the only time. The sheep talk, but they're, like, really stupid, so they only, like, say a few sentences.
Okay.
Like, the sheep that escaped, he's like, hi, okay, la 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 la, stuff like that, so...
Okay.
So basically, the sheep gets stuck on a cliff, and because he's basically stuck on a tree on a cliff, and so Rooster says, you have to climb down there, that tree won't support my weight. So, and then that's when you get the whole, the first trick to being brave is acting brave sort of thing. You
Yeah,
saw
he says
that
that in the trailers, yeah.
Yeah, and then, you know, he goes and rescues the sheep and everything, and that's how he gets over his fear. It's very, like I said, it was very quick and not very climactic. It's
Satisfying?
satisfying, that's the word.
Yeah. Alright.
So, yeah, and then the very next day they go home, and, oh, by the way, once they, now it's back to the subplot with the bunny.
Okay.
He and Daisy help the tiger escape, and now, like, so what are we gonna do with this tiger?
Yeah, okay. I had that question.
Yeah.
So what happens with the tiger?
They decide maybe he would be best if he was over at Pop's place because his owner is hardly ever home.
Yeah, the old dog. The
Yes.
old sound, yeah.
But because Pops has a new puppy around, he can't really have a tiger around with the puppy.
Okay.
Actually, like, it's basically like his whole thing where he has, like, puppy classes now where he teaches the puppies how to be brats.
I saw a bunch of tiny puppy dogs in
Yes.
the trailer. Okay.
Yes. And it's like, and then like off screen, Pops is like, this tiger ruined my apartment. He can't stay here anymore. And you don't see the ruined apartment or the tiger ruining the apartment. So it's like, okay, I kind of want to see that.
Yeah.
But
That would have been funny. Yes.
yes.
Illumination, not knowing the funny thing in their movies. Yes.
So it's like, okay, you can stay in Max and Duke's apartment until they come back. Then we'll try and figure out what the heck to do with you.
Okay.
And then Max and Duke come back home. So, but like it's late at night, so it's like they try to sneak the tiger out. Max wakes up, is like, "Why is there a tiger in my apartment?" And Snowball's like, "We'll talk about it later." And Daisy's like, "Oh no, the wolves are out there." And that's when Max faces them, like you saw in the trailer.
Okay, so what happens with the tiger? Let's just get to that. I don't need to know every step. What happens with the tiger?
The tiger gets caught, and so does Daisy. So,
Does that lead into the big chase scene that we saw in the trailer?
yeah, like basically, like they're on, you know, it's a traveling circus, so of course they go on a train and everything. So, you know, Max has to like go and chase the train down.
It sounds like they just needed a big action scene at the end.
Yeah, and he uses a walkie-talkie. Like that's basically how the pets in the apartment communicate with each other. So he's like, "Gidget, I need your help." So she's like, she gets all her cat friends to try and convince the old lady to drive down by the train and everything to help him.
Okay.
So Max is on the train with the wolves chasing after him, and he like tries to outmaneuver them by trying to get them fall off the train, and he's trying to like get to the engine so he can like pull the brakes and rescue the tiger.
Right.
Meanwhile, the Daisy, the little Shih Tzu, she got caught, and Snowball is trying to rescue her from the psychotic monkey. You seen it?
I saw that in the trailers. Yeah.
Yeah. So like basically, he's like throwing knives and everything. He's basically like the ringleader. Circus owner's like little hench animal, so like he's supposed to be like a big deal.
Is he Iago?
He's Iago, yes, but he doesn't talk.
Yes.
Because the
All right, sure.
yeah. It's really weird how they have only some animals talk, but others don't.
Yeah.
Like the tiger doesn't talk.
That's really weird.
Like they explain it like he's a wild animal, so he doesn't understand.
He doesn't
like
understand.
yeah.
Okay. All right.
But yeah.
Fair enough.
So yeah, there's that, and while Gidget and her cats are driving, so like they're all like on this big chase. Like there's one chase scene and 2 fight scenes.
Okay. We don't need to know each fight scene.
Okay.
Let's just,
No, basically like Max frees the tiger and pulls the brakes, and Snowball helps save Daisy, and by shooting the monkey out of a cannon because circus.
Okay.
And so, like, they finally get off the train and everything, and the circus, the ringleader, he, like, literally pulls out a gun and is ready to shoot Max. And then,
I got real.
Yes! He's like, I'm through with you! And then he gets run over by the old lady with the cats.
Okay.
And so the old lady picks up all the animals, and they drive back home. And the old lady adopts the tiger because she just thinks it's a giant kitty.
Okay,
yeah.
fair enough.
Yes, so... And, Max learns that it's okay to Max faces his fears,
He learns it's okay to be afraid, but he overcomes them.
He learns to let go of his little boy because
Okay.
Yeah, like, basically, I didn't mention this before, but it's like, Snowball manager's like, hey, your kid is starting to get old enough to go to preschool, right? And Max is like, oh, no, he's too young, like...
How many years has this been going? Okay, wow.
Yeah, a lot.
Wow.
Yeah, like I said, like all this happens in like the first 5 minutes of the movie. She meets a guy, they get married, they have a kid, and the kid grows up.
God, Max has got to be old now.
You'd think so.
No wonder his voice is different.
Like that always kind of weirded me out. How like the animals don't really age, even though like. There's a little kid growing up and everything, but we don't really know the age of the animals, so...
They're all those animals from that A Dog's Purpose, so they've each died off screen and then come back as themselves again.
So yeah, like, all that, and, Gidget, like, goes back to her owner and everything.
Alright, then, so everything's wrapped up. Okay,
yes.
Cool. Alright.
Then, I don't know if you want me to talk about the credits or anything. Or...
Anything interesting in there?
Well, during the credits, they show, like, YouTube videos of dogs and kids doing cute things together. Then Snowball does a rap about a panda.
Alright, sure.
And I'm like, that was completely...
That's illumination.
Yeah, that was completely
That's
unnecessary,
illumination.
but, yeah.
Alright.
Yeah, I could have done without that.
Alright, anything else to add?
That's pretty much the basics.
Okay, alright, so there you go. That is her review of Secret Life of Pets 2. Next week is... Oh, God, what the hell comes out next week?
I don't know. But there are movies out already that we haven't seen yet.
Well, we're not going back.
Okay.
It's too late. It's too late. Rocket Man will have to wait until the end of the year. We're in summertime now, so there's a big thing each week. So come back next week for whatever the hell comes out next week. And follow us on Twitter and Twitch at Professor Story. Thanks for tuning in, everyone. Come back next time.
Bye.
Oh, and follow her on Twitter at Toon Scribbles. Mm-hmm. Yes. Bye, everyone.
Bye.